morning and welcome to another episode of Lizard's Kitchen. And we're gonna prepare something that I've never tried before, but it was suggested by a friend of mine. And when I first heard about it, I was like, what? That doesn't sound good. It's chicken liver omelet. And I'm gonna prepare it according to some instructions on another video that I followed, and there's a couple other different changes. And we're gonna start right now with the chicken livers, which I had a hard time tracking down. So normally I've seen chicken livers come like in a one of those Chinese takeout type of plastic containers, and I could not find them at the local supermarket at all. But I did find it in a more local market, the Rock Hill Trading Post, and I've never seen them carried like this in this type of container. But this was the smallest package I could find, about a 1.5 pound package of chicken livers, running anywhere between $1.99 and $2.50 a pound. We're not going to use all these. I did do a little research to find out that you could freeze chicken livers. There are ways to do it, but right now we're going to concern ourselves with preparing the omelet. We can talk about freezing livers later. So I got the package open, and this is about the amount of livers that we're going to use for the omelet. And first we're going to do is rinse these off. These don't look like they have a lot of fat in them, but let's rinse them off anyway. So I'm just going to make sure that they're nice and clean, without any type of weird residue that might have built up. And you can see there's going to be things that we want to cut out of these livers, so we don't want them as part of our omelet because they're tough. And we're just gonna, I think I'm going to pat these dry for a minute, and we'll get them over to the cutting board. So what we're going to want to do here is get rid of any of this tough gristle that's going to not make it easy for consumption. We want the livers to be free of any of this stuff. This is pretty, they don't look like there's too much of that on there. We want to make sure that they're clear of that. It doesn't look like a lot of liver, but you know, it packs pretty pungent flavor, and I don't want to overwhelm the eggs with it. So the next thing we want to do is cut these up into smaller pieces so they get distributed throughout the omelet. And we don't want to be putting big giant pieces of liver in our mouth with each forkful. Now I got a tip from my friend John, who said his dad used to make these for him. Let me just get rid of this excess stuff. And this was something extra. What we're going to do is we're going to flour and put some, I have a little salt and pepper in the flour as well. And this is supposed to make the liver give a little bit of a crunch to it, from what I've been told. I think I'm just going to take my knife, and I don't know how well you can see all of this. I don't have a cameraman. I got to do this all by myself. So there, the liver is coated in some flour and salt and pepper. And I think the next step is we're going to just rinse off this cutting board and cut up some onion. So here I have a regular medium-sized red onion. So we don't need a lot of onion, but I do want to get the skin off of this thing. Okay, so we got the skin off, and what we want to do is just cut this into, what we want to do is just cut these into some slices. And again, we don't want to overdo it with the onion either. That's probably enough, and we're going to put that into a pan. So I got a pan here, and we're going to heat up this pan. And we're going to start with putting a little bit of olive oil in it. And I've got some butter here that I'm also going to, in the meantime, while that's heating up, I'm going to beat some of these eggs here for the omelet. And since I'm pretty hungry, I'm going to make this a 3-egg omelet. That's pretty good. And this olive oil is heating up. We're going to throw in our onions. Okay. And I'm going to put in a little butter as well as the olive oil just to give it some more flavor. And while that's heating up and we're going to saute that onion, one of the ingredients of this omelet is parsley, which I don't normally put into eggs. I mean, if I'm making huevos rancheros, I may put cilantro in, but I don't normally keep cilantro in the house unless I specifically need it and then I go out and buy it. But I did buy this parsley, and one thing I've learned recently is, as you can see, this parsley is still pretty fresh, and I bought it almost a week ago. And from what I learned is moisture is the culprit that destroys your greens in the refrigerator. So if you ever notice when you buy spinach or you buy something like parsley, it soon turns into turtle food. It gets dark green and it gets slimy, and you end up throwing it all away because it didn't keep. But if you keep some paper towels in the bag, or say the plastic of spinach, and you store it that way, the paper towels will absorb that excess moisture and your greens will keep much longer. And that includes lettuce or any other vegetables that you want to keep longer that tend to go really quickly. Okay, we're cooking here. I got that last part with the parsley. I don't know if I recorded it. Anyway, this is getting done. The onions are getting sauteed. I'm going to throw in the chicken livers now. Now we don't want to overcook these. They should be pink on the inside, so it's not really going to take a long time to make these. I got plenty of olive oil and butter in there. I don't need to put any more in. And I started my toast. Starting to smell really nice in here. So, you know, people, you either like liver or you don't. You know, some people, just the word liver, they don't like it. It just makes their skin crawl because, you know, they say, well, I have a liver. It's like, well, you're going to eat a heart or an appendix, so, you know, the word steak, you don't have a steak organ, so it doesn't sound so gross. But we do have, you know, I'm going to eat kidney stew, and that turns people right off because they think of their internal organs and go, I'm not going to eat kidney, yucko. So again, you want these livers more or less pink inside. And look at that just by doing this, see? And that's still not, it's still rare. It's got to go a little bit more. I've got it on a medium to medium low, medium heat. It's really starting to smell delicious. And a lot of people wouldn't want to have this so early in the morning, but for me it's already 10:30. I mean, hell, I can go eat lunch at this point. Cut these into smaller pieces. I don't think see, this is pink now. And they're going to cook longer as they cook into the egg. Yeah, these are pink now. They're ready. But I do want to get them, since I did put them in the flour, I do want to get them kind of crispy as recommended. The onion really got, I could have probably used a little bit more onion. Well, next time. There's always another time to try this again. Now, I've got a lot of chicken liver left over, and I could either freeze it or I can do another cooking show on how to make chicken chopped liver salad. And you can put all sorts of ingredients into that. I used to help my mom make those, chopping up the liver and the hard-boiled eggs in the wooden bowl with the chopper. All right, we're going to pour the eggs over this. My air cleaner went off. I don't need any extra unnecessary noise. And I just want to distribute the meat around the omelet. And what we want to also do is we want to put in some parsley. Really nice. I haven't really been seasoning much of this, so I'm going to put in a little bit of salt, and I'm going to put in a little bit of pepper, and then I'm going to top this all off with a little bit of Cabot seriously sharp cheddar cheese. So we're talking about super protein breakfast here. We just want to move these eggs around so they get cooked and let the cheese melts. I know I could cover it. That will help it along. One thing we don't like is to overcook our eggs. We don't want any brown in it. And it is starting to brown on the bottom, but we can keep it low. And we can put a cover over this while our toast is finishing up. And that'll help finish off the eggs without them being too raw or runny, but they'll be not overcooked either, because we're working with, I turned it down to like 2 now, 2.5, where it was at 4. And I'm gonna get a plate so we can plate this whole meal. And this toast is ready. Eggs still look a little bit undercooked, and they're getting overcooked on the bottom. So that was a little bit of a mistake. I should have been moving this around a lot more. But I like the eggs wet, and that's where they're at now. A little bit of it is, so it's not really an omelet, it's more like scrambled. I mean, I could have just made it omelet, which means just not move it around as much, but again, we're gonna plate this now. So here we go, here's the omelet. Got some toast, and I got some fresh coffee. And let's see how it tastes. I've never had this before. All right, well, this looks really good, and I'm going to taste it and let you know how it turned out. It's got a great flavor. It tastes like liver, but it reminds me of putting like meat into any omelet, like sausages or bacon or anything, but it's liver instead. So it does work, and it's a great dish. And you can also make your liver McMuffin by putting a little bit on your toast and having it that way. This is really, really good. I must say, it's a new experience, and I'm always looking for new things to eat, because we all seem to get into a routine of eating the same things every morning and the same meals every day or every other day. So this is a nice change from the usual, and I highly recommend it. And bon appetit. We'll see you next time.